How's it going, guys? Have another flashlight review. Today we're looking at the Thrunite Archer Series light. This is the model 1A V2, so it's the version 2 of the single AA Archer Series light. This one is in neutral white, depicted by the yellow sticker on the front here on the box. Again, you have the option between the cool white and neutral white. Neutral white, again, is going to give you that kind of off-white yellowish color that what we're all used to in our household light bulbs. It's definitely preference. But this is the cheaper of the two. This is $29.95, whether you get it from their Amazon store or if you buy it direct from their Thrunite website. It is going to be cheaper than the cool white version. The 1A is referencing the fact that this takes one AA battery. Completely off topic, but I have been using these Quantums from Duracell lately, and I do like these a lot. The very simple fact that you can, check to see how much power is left is a nice little bonus. But I don't know if it's just all hype or whatever. I happen to find that they're lasting longer. I've been buying a lot of these for everything I have that uses AA batteries or AAA batteries. I've been buying the Quantums, and so far it's been really good. So I do recommend those batteries for all of your flashlights, for your AA's. Anyway, this light is very straightforward, very simple to use. Basically, we have our tail clicky on the back. Okay, so click it on for constant on, or just hold it in halfway for momentary on. All right, there's a dedicated side button for all the modes here. Okay, so we'll start off here is the Firefly mode. This is 0.4 lumens, and it's estimated to be 408 hours. Again, one day we're gonna test that Firefly mode and see if that's the case. But anyway, just click it in to change through your modes. The next mode is gonna be low. This is 15 lumens for a 22-hour runtime. Then it jumps up to medium, which is 70 lumens for 5 hours. And then the high in this light is 175 lumens for 1 3/4 hours. In any mode that you're in, if you hold down this button, it will turn strobe on. Okay, so just hold it in, then you have your strobe. The strobe will be the same high output of 175, but you'll get 3.5 hours runtime. So it doubles the runtime, which makes sense. It's literally on half as much as a standard high mode. What I also like about this light, all the Archer series lights, is the fact that you can't see it now because our battery is nice and charged, but when your battery starts dying, there's a small red LED that is inside your mode changing button. So basically once that turns red, it's letting you know that your battery's dying, it's time to charge it. It's a very cool, nice little touch. As far as the clickies on here, it's very positive. You can hear that. Very audible. If you want a real quiet light, maybe not the option for you, but it's very, very... it's a very loud button. You might like that, you might not. It is what it is. But anyway, this one does have a pocket clip, quite long pocket clip. It's one of the newer ones. It has like kind of a real high gloss finish on it. It's very smooth. It does have a very, very long arm on it, as I guess you'd call that an arm. It sits very deeply in the pocket, which is very nice. Okay, you can see this is what would be exposed. As far as pocket clips on lights, I do use them for review purposes, but generally speaking, a review aside completely, in fact, when this review is done, I'll take this pocket clip off and I'll carry this light when I use it just in the pocket loose. I don't consider these small lights to be, great to use with the pocket clips just because they're small enough to fit in the pocket. But again, it's completely preference. A lot of guys who carry lots of gear, if you have other things moving around your pocket, you might not want your flashlight bumping into them. I would say if you have a pocket that's dedicated for a flashlight, you don't need the pocket clip, but that's just my opinion. If you do happen to use it, it is nice and deep, nice and sturdy. It's easy to use, it's easy to slip on. The tension's not as tight as some other pocket clips. So anyway, let's go back to the head here, take a look at the business end. We're gonna zoom in. Again, this is the neutral white LED, okay, so it has a smaller emitter than the cool white version of the same flashlight, but that is a Cree XP G2 LED. All right, you can see our reflector in here is completely smooth. All right, if I back out a little bit, you can see that bezel. We do have the crenulated bezel. It is stainless. Okay, so this whole thing's kind of two-tone. You got the stainless there, and then the stainless ring around your button. As far as the pocket clip being black as opposed to stainless, I do like that. I definitely prefer that. But yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot going on with this light. This is kind of an entry-level tactical light. If you've always been considering getting a cool flashlight and you're tired of your dollar store flashlights, I mean, 30 bucks is a pretty good place to start. Of course, once you start adding, $40 range, $50 range, your options greatly increase with a lot of different brands, a lot of different models. This is one of the few models that I do recommend people when they ask me what they should get for gifts. I get that question not too often, but occasionally someone will say, hey, I want to get my father a light for Father's Day, or, you know, it's my mother's birthday, I want to get her something different, stuff like that. There are probably 3 or 4 different flashlights I recommend, and some of the things that I think about as far as suggesting a light for a gift, number one, most important, is going to be how easy is it to use. There's a lot of awesome tactical flashlights in the market with all kinds of features, but you know, for the common person, they're not going to want an SOS mode, or most of the times they're not even going to want strobe. It's just something they're not going to use. They're going to turn their flashlight on to find their keys, or maybe, you know, go to the electrical outlet, you know, in the case of the power going out or something. So the fact that you literally just click it to turn it on, and you know, click the other button to change the modes, it's very simple. So that's a big factor to me. Price is also a consideration. Of course, it's always a consideration. $30 is very affordable. Even if you got the cool white version for another $5 or $6, you know, it's not going to break the bank, especially if you're getting a gift for someone you really like. Spending 30 or 35 bucks isn't a big deal for them. You know, but just it's just simple, cheap. Another thing to consider with this light is the output. Specifically as a gift, 175 lumen light running off a single AA battery is very, very bright. If you're in the gear community, if you're very much into flashlights, I think a lot of people who click on this video would obviously be into flashlights. 175 lumens does not seem bright anymore, just because we're so used to seeing the 400 lumen light, the 600 lumen light, the 1000 lumen light, you know, and so on. But we have to remember that the common person does not have a 175 lumen flashlight on them. Giving this as a gift to someone, 99 out of 100 times, it's going to be the brightest flashlight that they own. So again, just something to consider. 175 lumens is pretty damn bright. And you know, the price is right. So as far as gifts, it's definitely up there with my favorite to suggest to people when they ask me. So anyway, speaking of how bright this light is, let's get outside and take a look at what this looks like, do some beam shots. I know people are going to be more interested, again, because this is the neutral white version. A lot of times when I do demos on lights, more times than not, it's the cool white version. So now we're going to look at what neutral white lights have to offer. All right, guys, so we made it outside. I forgot that I have the solar lights here, and because it's not winter, they're actually exposed. And unfortunately, I can't shut them off, so I'll just have to do with them on. I'm going to pump this up right to the high output, 175 lumens. All right, you can see the bench out there. That's what the solar panel, or solar lights are, rather. It's just a walkway or a pathway to that bench. But I can see the bench very clear right now, about 35 feet from the bench or so. This light, you know, inherently it's a pocket light, so it has a small diameter bezel as well as the reflector. Being only 175 lumens on high, I'm not getting like a hot spot in the center. The beam is very, very even overall. It's almost like it's all spill, only it's directed, you know, straight out. Again, because of the smaller size, bezel and everything, it's not like a real wide beam. It's more narrow than I'm used to, because I've been playing with a lot of, you know, the bigger flashlights lately. But as I pan across here, I mean, you could see it does a great job at showing you everything you need to see. Even being a small flashlight, and again, only being 175 lumens, we're so used to some of the bigger powerhouses, it's still very impressive. Running on a AA battery or a single AA battery, it's a hell of a lot of light. As far as, like, you know, in person, I can see across the street there is another tree. It's not quite as bright, of course, but it's unfortunate because when I'm doing these demos on camera, I can always see more than you guys can see. It's brighter to me in person because the human eye can pick up more light than the sensor and the camera ever can. So it's definitely more impressive in person, but even from what you guys are seeing, it should give a good idea of what it might look like. Let me bring the camera down a little bit and show kind of the edge of the driveway here. As I go through the other modes, it's not going to be able to, you know, reach as far. So the first mode is the moonlight mode. Again, on the ground, barely visible for you guys, but if I put my hand up, you can see that there. All right, so I'm going to jump up to the low mode. The low mode is now visible on the ground here. Okay, then our medium. And of course our high. Bring the camera back up. I'll cycle through those modes real quick out there, just so you guys can see it. This is moonlight. Of course, you're not going to see that. Then low, you can kind of see on the pathway a little bit. Medium. And then, of course, high. And holding it in, we have our strobe. Now, let me hold this in again and show you strobe. You can see the frequency for strobe is a constant fast strobe. Sometimes on flashlights, it will change from fast, and then it'll be a slower frequency, then fast again. It's definitely preferred for some of the more tactical applications because it's harder to adjust your eyes to that. But anyway, that's pretty much the gist. So I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions, feel free to ask down below, and I'll certainly answer them the best I can. In the meantime, hope you guys have an awesome day, and I will see you soon. Take care.